It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! Good! And the...
Looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up with the buzzer. Bats it in! Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James!
Is this the dagger?
Gather round, basketball fans, because I've got a tale that's juicier than a freshly squeezed orange at halftime. We're diving into the high-flying, trash-talking, and downright ridiculous moments that make the NBA the greatest show on earth. From missed shots to legendary dunks and even a little Sunday delivery drama. Buckle up for a roller coaster ride through basketball history. All right, buckle up, because first up, we're diving deep into the play-by-play drama of Edwards' epic moment on the court. So rewind back to that pivotal moment when Edwards misses that crucial second shot. The tension in the arena is so thick, you could cut it with a butter knife. The Pacers, trailing behind, see a tiny glimmer of hope flickering in the distance. It's like they're hungry lions spotting their prey, ready to pounce at any moment. But Edwards, he's not about to let this opportunity slip through his fingers. As the Pacers charge forward, Edwards springs into action like a coiled-up spring. You can practically feel the determination radiating off him like heat waves on a scorching summer day. With lightning-fast reflexes, he lunges towards Nesmith, who's lining up a shot like he's aiming for the moon. And then, Edwards stretches his arm out like Mr. Fantastic and swats that ball away with the finesse of a master painter wielding his brush.
The backboard.
But here's where the plot thickens. As Edwards performs this heroic act, he inadvertently smacks the back of his head against the unforgiving rim. It's a moment frozen in time, like something out of a slow-motion replay. You can almost hear the collective gasp from the crowd as they witness the sacrifice Edwards makes for the game. It's not just about blocking the shot. It's about laying it all on the line, body and soul, for the love of basketball. Moving now. Did you know that Michael Jordan once shot a free throw with his eyes closed? Yeah, you heard that right. It was back in 1991 when the Bulls were facing off against the Denver Nuggets, led by the legendary Dikembe Mutombo. Now, Mutombo was known for his shot blocking skills, but let's just say his free throw game wasn't exactly his strong suit. MJ, being the master of mind games that he was, decided to have a little fun with it. During a regular season game, Jordan stepped up to the free throw line, looked Mutombo dead in the eye, and then casually closed his eyes before sinking the shot. Can you imagine the audacity? But hey, that's just the kind of swagger MJ brought to the court.
Makes it, 3 games now, right? Jordan?
Of course, the Bulls ended up winning the game, adding insult to injury for poor Mutombo. MJ not only showed off his comedic side, but also proved that he could drain free throws even with his eyes shut. And that's just one of the countless moments that made Michael Jordan such an iconic figure in basketball history. His talent was undeniable, but it was his charisma and ability to back up his trash talk that really made him stand out. All right, let's talk about the dunk that's so legendary, it's practically the stuff of basketball folklore. Dr. J's post-worthy slam on Michael Cooper. Picture this, Irving soaring through the air like a basketball superhero, with speed that could give the Flash a run for his money. His dunk wasn't just a display of raw power, it was a symphony of flair and grace, like a ballerina in Air Jordans. And let's not forget who he dunked on, Michael Cooper, aka the defensive wall. And what does Dr. J do after this epic dunk? Does he bust out some victory dance or trash talk? Nope, he just casually strolls back down the court like he's out for a Sunday jog. Talk about class personified. Dr. J didn't need to scream from the rooftops about his greatness. He let his game do all the talking. So next time you're debating the best dunk ever, just remember, it's not just about the athleticism. It's about the style, the finesse, and the sheer coolness factor. And Dr. J? Well, he's got it all in spades. All right, let's dissect that legendary performance by Larry Bird, step by step. It's like unwrapping a gift, each moment revealing something more incredible than the last. So here we go. First off, we've got Dennis Johnson orchestrating the play. And there's Bird, always moving without the ball, creating space. But then, A little hiccup as Parrish loses possession. But that's just the beginning of the magic. Next up, we see Bird asserting his dominance on the court, snatching rebounds left and right, making it look easy. It's that relentless hustle that sets him apart. And let's talk about those jumpers. Bird's got a jumper that's as smooth as butter. He's posting up, he's taking shots, and with that trademark release, it's like poetry in motion. But what really sets Bird apart is his three-point game. From downtown, he's lethal. That stroke of his is pure artistry. You can't help but marvel at the precision, the finesse, and let's not forget his vision on the court. Those assists, those passes that set up his teammates for easy buckets. It's all part of his basketball IQ. Now let's talk about his defense. Bird's not just about scoring. He's a two-way player. Steals, blocks, drawing fouls. He's doing it all. He's like a defensive maestro out there. And then, of course, there's the clutch factor. When the game's on the line, you can count on Bird to deliver. Whether it's sinking free throws or hitting that game-winning jumper, he's the guy you want with the ball in his hands. And finally, we have to talk about the numbers. 60 points in a single game? Let that sink in. It's not just a feat, it's a testament to Bird's greatness. He's not just breaking records, he's rewriting history. So piece by piece, Larry Bird's performance is nothing short of legendary. It's a masterclass in basketball brilliance that'll be talked about for years to come. And you know what adds another layer to Bird's legend? His trash-talking game. Oh yeah. Larry Bird wasn't just a master on the court. He was perhaps the greatest trash talker of all time. Oh man. Let's talk about Tom Chambers' dunk against the Knicks in '89. We're talking about a dunk that's etched into NBA history books as one of the most jaw-dropping slams of all time. I mean, picture this. Chambers elevates, and his head is actually above the rim. Above it! He literally leaps over a defender like it's nothing, and then throws it down with authority. It's like something out of a video game. And the reaction? Sick, sick, sick. That's the only way to describe it. The crowd goes wild. The commentators are losing their minds. And even the Knicks fans have to give it up for the sheer athleticism on display. In a league known for its highlight reel dunks, Chambers' slam stands out as a true game changer. It's the kind of dunk that gets replayed over and over again, leaving basketball fans in awe every single time. So yeah, when you talk about devastating dunks, Chambers' leap over the defender in '89 is right up there at the top. It's the stuff of legends. All right, folks, picture this. It's the fourth quarter. Tension so thick, you could cut it with, yep, you guessed it, a knife. The clock is ticking down mercilessly. Only 3.2 seconds left on the clock. Bryant, the legend himself, gets the ball against the Miami Heat. He's got that fire in his eyes. You can practically feel the anticipation crackling in the air. He juggles the ball, and then buzzer is about to sound. Hearts are pounding in the stands. But Bryant, he's got ice in his veins. With just a fraction of a second left, he lets it fly. A shot that could define the game. And would you believe it? Swish. The ball drops through the net with precision, sealing the deal for the Lakers. Pandemonium erupts in the arena as fans leap to their feet, roaring with jubilation. Bryant's teammates mob him on the court, celebrating the incredible victory. It's moments like these that remind us why we love this game so much. The Lakers take home the win in spectacular fashion, thanks to the clutch performance of none other than Kobe Bryant. Shawn Kemp, the Rain Man himself. Now, if we're talking about high-flying dunks and posterizing opponents, Kemp's gotta be in the conversation. I mean, the man was an absolute force on the court. Kemp soaring through the air like he's got wings, and that signature move of his, pointing at the poor guy he just posterized as they lie helpless on the ground? Classic. It's like he's saying, yeah, I just did that. What are you gonna do about it? Back in his prime, Kemp was a dunking machine, putting defenders on notice every time he took flight. And let's not forget about the trash talk. Oh man, the way he talked with his gestures, letting his opponents know who's boss with just a look or a point. It's the kind of swagger that made him a fan favorite and struck fear into the hearts of his adversaries. Watching Kemp play was like witnessing poetry in motion. A symphony of power, finesse, and attitude all rolled into one. He wasn't just dunking on opponents. He was making a statement, leaving a lasting impression on anyone who dared to challenge him. Picture this. The clock's winding down. Only a minute left on the ticker. The crowd's on the edge of their seats, nerves tingling with anticipation. Then, it's Irving versus Curry, the showdown of a century. Irving pulls a move straight out of the playbook, putting up a shot from the corner for Cleveland. You just know the coaches drew that one up during a timeout, scheming to get Curry on Irving. And lo and behold, it works like a charm.
To get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it
Like
up.
a charm. Irving's not about to let this chance slip through his fingers. He's like, all right, everybody, clear the runway. It's time for Kyrie to shine. He dribbles like he's auditioning for Dancing with the Stars, leaving Curry looking like he's got 2 left feet. Irving's move is smoother than a greased-up banana peel. And bam! He pulls off a move so slick, it's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. The defender's left scratching his head as Irving scores. Talk about a player who's got ice in his veins and sauce on his moves. This isn't just a play. It's Irving's bread and butter. He's been pulling off these jaw-dropping moves since he was knee-high to a grasshopper. When the game's on the line, Irving's the guy you want with the ball. He's got more offensive tricks up his sleeve than a magician at a kid's birthday party. It's a big-time play, and Irving's the maestro of the moment, conducting the symphony of basketball awesomeness. All right, let's set the scene. The clock's winding down, and suddenly, a move so smooth it's like watching a magician work their magic. But instead of rabbits and top hats, we're talking basketball. And poor Matthews finds himself in the spotlight, though not in a way he'd prefer. With less than a minute left on the clock, it happens. A move so breathtaking, it's like witnessing art in motion. Let's dive into some NBA history, because we're about to talk about the ultimate trash talk moment. You see, when it comes to the NBA Finals, winning that first game is crucial. It sets the tone for the whole series. In fact, stats show that the team winning Game 1 goes on to win the finals over 70% of the time. And if the home team wins Game 1, well, that number jumps to a whopping 77%. So let's rewind to the 1997 NBA Finals. The Jazz were dead set on starting strong in front of their home crowd. With the game tied at 82, it was crunch time. The mailman himself, Karl Malone, had a chance to seal the deal with some clutch free throws. But just as he was about to take the shot, Scottie Pippen delivered the line heard around the world. A line so legendary, it's practically etched in NBA folklore. Hey mailman, just remember, the mail doesn't get delivered on Sundays. Boom. Talk about savage. Malone steps up to the line, but Pippen's words are echoing in his head. And wouldn't you know it, he misses both shots. The Bulls seize the moment, and Jordan? Well, he does what Jordan does best. Puts the team on his back and seals the deal. Game over. Series over. And just like that, the Bulls walk away with another championship. It's a harsh reality check from Malone, whose legacy could have been legendary if he'd sunk those shots. But alas, a bit of savagery from Pippen turned the tide, and the rest is history. And with that, basketball buddies, it's time to wrap up our hooptastic journey through NBA history with a smile on our faces. As we dribble away from the excitement of legendary dunks and epic buzzer beaters, let's remember the goofy moments that make us chuckle, like when players accidentally score on their own basket, or when mascots get stuck in the hoop. But don't worry, the fun never stops in the world of basketball. Whether you're shooting hoops in your driveway or watching the pros on TV, there's always something to laugh about. So until we meet again for another round of basketball banter and silly antics, keep that basketball bouncing and those smiles shining. And hey, if you want more hilarious basketball content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more laughs and highlights.